Hey, Perfect Spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's transform your life by getting rid of the head trash and really tapping into who you truly are, Perfect Spirit. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk about getting rid of all this inner noise, this head trash, this mental noise that doesn't serve us. That's a source of anxiety, stress, worries, fears, scarcity mindset, bad jobs, bad relationships can all be traced back to the mental distress, if you will. So today I want to talk about, how healing is a byproduct of inner peace. Inner peace being, really quiet mind and just knowing who you are, not a worry, no stress. So healing is a byproduct of that. I know when you're in the hospital, you can't really relax. You're kind of stressed out. You just want to get out of there. Well, that's why they want you to send you home from the hospital as quickly as possible as well, because they know a stressed out body does not heal. And we're under constant stress. So we may have some glimpses of healing, but to really make it a lasting, permanent healing, you really need to get rid of that stress, the anxiety, the worries, anything that's taking you out of the present moment. Because anytime you're up in here, you're not in this moment. So it's really when you're tapped into who you truly are, perfect spirit, soul, consciousness, spirit, source, universe, God, whatever you want to call it. We don't want to get hung up on the words. So that's when I see like all these healers out there have all these rituals, all these routines. And is it really necessary? I don't really think it is, because it wasn't necessary for me to heal bipolar, multiple sclerosis. I didn't need all these healing regimens, because I think it just creates more busyness in the mind. It's really about relaxation. Relaxation while keeping present. So it's not like relaxing in front of the TV, vegging, or listen to like Spotify and just vegging out. No, there's actually an active relaxation process, if you will. Oh, there goes the mind, yada, 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 just keeps on going. Let me come back to my feet, my hands, where I'm sitting, and just constantly pulling yourself back. So it's an active practice, an active relaxation, but it's not focused on rules, regulations, holding your hands a certain way, breathing, sitting a certain way, none of that. And there's a lot of things out there that are just miscommunicated, if you will, that we're not raising our vibration. There's no dark night of the soul. It's just more mental stories, because we can't really raise our vibration. We restore our vibration. Because when you come into the earth plane, that's your highest vibration, because you just came from source, universe. That's the highest vibration. But then you start adding beliefs and opinions to that, and it starts to dampen your vibration. So eventually, you're not shining much light, because the mind has created so much darkness over your light. But it's not a dark night of the soul, it's the dark night of the mind that's causing all these issues. So this is one of the benefits I had of not having a spiritual teacher. So I'm not subscribed to these dogmas, these ways of being, that we have the answer within us. And a good teacher will point you back to yourself for the answers. It's like Deepak Chopra, and you ask him a question, he'll tell you to go meditate, because he knows the answers within you. But the answer may not be apparent. If you're just sitting in meditation, you're still dealing with clearing the head trash. You may not get that answer. It may come to you in an insight and intuition, but then you're not really sure how to discern the mental versus the intuitive voice. So just really realize everything comes from peace, healing, wealth, relationships, careers. The ultimate, healing, abundance, careers, relationships come from peace, that lasting, permanent condition, because you're really getting into the 0 point, where just consciousness, where it's just a quantum field and just particles bouncing around. So that's really where we want to manifest from this place. And just quieting this out. I talked about before, the law of attraction and abundance is really getting the head trash out, getting into the 0 point, setting the intentions with feeling, and really focus on what this would mean for you. Thank you for this. This allows me to do that. To really get some energy behind it, to really have consciousness, have your mind drive consciousness a certain way. But for many, consciousness is all over the place because you're looking at lack, blame, complaining, and the universe will just give you more to blame, more victimhood, because the universe is always saying yes. Whatever your desires are, the universe is saying yes. So if you're filled with lots and lots of stuff, then your manifestations are going to be messy. There's a lot of religions, if you will, alternative religions that talk about directing consciousness, like Centers for Spiritual Living, the Science of Mind. What was the other one? I don't remember the other one right now, but there's definitely no Christian Science. They're all about directing consciousness a certain way, of realizing that consciousness is neutral, because all is well in this absolute. So we can get there to 0 point and put those demands on consciousness. So I'm not talking about, with these science of mind is not Scientology. We're really not talking about, making one person better than another. We're not worried about that structure, the dogma, that we're all perfect spirit trying to do our very best. No one is greater or less than another because we're all perfect spirit. Any leveling, any judgment is perfect spirit. And people say you want to up level. What does up level mean? I'm not really sure what up level means. To me, it's always about descending down to our true self, that we don't ascend out of this body. We descend into who we truly are. Perfect spirit, whole and complete, just as we sit here. Your lighthouse, that we need to follow this truth to create those desires. But you really want to listen to your lighthouse, to move through situations, to move through challenges. That spirit knows the way always. It's not confused, doesn't have doubts. It knows the details, but it's just going to give you one step at a time. And the mind grows extremely impatient with that. Because the mind always wants the next step, the next step, the next step. Or the next 3 steps, the next 5 or 10 steps. Or the 5-year plan. That's one of my favorites, the 5-year plan. All I know for certain is right here, right now. No idea what's going to happen in 5 years from now. I'm not even certain what's going to happen in 15 minutes from now. You never know what's going to happen. I was sitting here one day and I just heard what sounded like raindrops or maybe some crackling sound. I wasn't really sure. I looked at it and it was sunny outside. So I'm like, that can't be rain. What is that? Apartment fire, the building behind me. So you never know what life is going to bring. There's no way that I could predict it. Oh, the apartment over there is going to be on fire later today. No, we don't know those things. We may have an insight that something's up, like Nostradamus, but we really don't know for certain. We can see how the trajectory is being set up, because destiny is not fixed. It's very fluid. Life is very fluid, dynamic. It's not a fixed entity. And we need to get out of things that make it a fixed entity, because that doesn't serve us. So what serves us is being at peace. For everything originates from peace, perfect spirit, the quantum field, without mental interference, mental disturbance. So just find that skilled relaxation practice of keeping yourself present to this moment, knowing where your feet are, where your hands are, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what's the background behind me. All these kind of things are tools for the present moment. All right. Well, take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.